Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, השעה 4
Aviv Russ has his own weekly radio show for a very niche market. Kol Berlin is the only radio show broadcast in Hebrew and in German. Aviv is Israeli, but 4 years ago he decided to move to Germany. His grandparents had fled Europe and the Nazis in the 1930s.
I thought it would be hard for my grandfather. After all, he lost his family in the Holocaust. But I was in for a real surprise. They were happy about it. They said, "We're happy you're doing this."
The grandchildren of the victims of National Socialism are very aware of the past. It's hard to ignore it here. The memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe was built in the heart of the city. But today, young Israelis are attracted to a very different side of Berlin. This city at the center of Europe draws young artists from all corners of the world. Gilad HOCHMAN is just 27, but he's already a composer in his own right and a rising star in the classical music world. 2 years ago, he made Berlin his home. Around 12,000 Israelis now live in Berlin, most of them young people. The pull of the city is its vibrancy and energy, but it's also a refuge from the political tensions back home.
Young Israelis, they feel the necessity to go out of Israel for a short while to freshen up from the political situation. We are kind of surrounded by more or less unfriendly countries. So I think that there is a feeling of a bit suffocation, and that brings young Israelis to go out.
Most of these young Israelis have European passports. Under German law, any descendant of a German citizen who was stripped of their nationality by the Nazis has the right to German citizenship. Juval PORAT was recently ordained as a rabbi cantor. His parents were some of the first to make the trip back to Germany in the 80s.
I remember hearing my father saying he made a very conscious decision to live in Germany. His logic was that it wasn't possible before, but now it is. So he thought he'd go ahead with it because he had the right to.
And the numbers are growing year on year. Now 100,000 Israelis own a German passport. The journalist, David Gussman, says it's proof that relations between Israel and Germany are on the right track.
They're aware of the history, but they also see the new world around them, a new generation of Germans who think internationally and who see themselves as Europeans. It's not so much about nationality anymore. That's an advantage, or it's a good sign for the future.
And it's also a small victory over a very painful past.